Madurai. It consists of magnificence, art, history, mythology, values, literature, culture, tradition in its name. It is a city of temples which is always busy from morning till midnight. Hence, it is called as Sleepless City. Madurai is one of the oldest, continuously inhabited cities in the world and has its own history. Around Madurai, there are many paintings on rocks which depicts our ancestors' mind and action as if there is no language to express their feelings. We can see such pictures even in Tirubadavur hills. During the olden days, our ancestors stayed in caves to escape from wild animals. They sepultured the body of dead people in dolmens and covered it with rocky stones. Such a type of burial ground is at Perumal Malai, which is situated at northeast of Madurai. Before 285 BC, Korkai, which was situated in the middle of Lemuria continent, was ruled by Pandya kings who were experts in sea trading and also in extracting pearl from sea. Their flag consists of fish which does not close both of its eyes. They developed Tamil with Tamil Sangam. Due to natural calamities, they shifted their capital to Madurai. They created a new capital in the name of goddess Meenakshi Amman, and they named their capital as Meenakshi Pattinam, meaning ruled by fish. Meenakshi Sundareshwara Temple is one of the world-famous temple which was extended by the Pandya kings beginning from the 12th century AD and was completed in the 16th century AD with 15 acres of area. The divine classical literature, Tirukural, was debuted in the Pottamarai Kulam, the pool which is at Meenakshi Sundareswara Temple. Lord Vinayaka Shrine is at the west side of the pool where people honor it with the holy ash. We can see a very long and old teakwood door in the 1000-pillar hall. The divine 65 stories of Lord Sundareswarar is painted with detailed description using medicinal plants. The East Tower was constructed by King Maravarman Sundarapandian in the 13th century AD. The Amman Sanadi is just south to this East Tower. The West Tower has been constructed by King Parakramapandian in 14th century AD. The road to the west, called as Merkuchittirai Veedi, is still with the same hurry-burry as it was in the year 1945. The South Tower is the highest among the 4 towers and its height is about 160 feet and it was constructed during the 16th century AD. In the Ashtashakti Mandapam, paintings about the myth of Meenakshi is painted marvelously. The Thiruvachi, a decorated holy lamp set, has been presented by Periyamaradu. Kripananda Warrior, a famous and popular devotee of Lord Muruga, learnt Tirupukal here in this Tirupukal Mandapam, which is near to the South Tower. The North Tower is called as Motai Gobram, meaning plain tower. The women devotees worshipping in the temple, which is at the road to the North Vadakku Adiveedi during 1945. Traditionally, the same is being followed even now. Vasanta Mandapam, which is east to Meenakshi Amman Temple, has been built during the reign of Thirumalai Nayakar. During summers, water is filled around the Mandapam and special pujas are held. This is an ancient appearance of East Tower, the Mottai Gobram. Till date, this tower hall has been well maintained. Beneath the grounds, there is Kote Sami for whom regular pujas are performed every day. Some places relating to the 64 divine stories are located in Madurai. Kanchanamala Amman Temple. Here, Lord Sundareshwarar and Goddess Meenakshi are displayed as rulers of Pandya kingdom. Elakadal Street with 7 sea maiden statues, which represents the derivation of 7 oceans by Lord Shiva. The divine story of Lord Shiva, who bared soil for Puttu and got beaten by Cain, is held every year in Puttuthopu, which is at Karapanasami. The Jains began to live around Madurai even before 2nd century BC. They developed Jainism and Tamil. Samarar Hill, which is at Nagamalai Pudukkottai, was a famous Jainism school called as Madevi Perumpalli. As lots of Jain sculptures are found here, it is called as Tiruvuruvagam. Sculptures are arranged in order at the top of the mountain and between the rock slide. Sculptures of Pagubali, Parsubanadar, Mukkudainadar is still a marvelous and wonderful sight. These sculptures belong to 9th century AD and 10th century AD. Under each sculpture, the name of the sculptor is inscribed. There is a natural spa here which is always fertile. A stone pillar is on the top of the mountain for lighting the lamps. Settipudavu, a cave site, is on the south side towards this mountain. At the top of this mountain, sculpture of Tirthangara belonging to the 9th century and many other Tirthangaras, Goddess Eki Ambika sculpture are all present inside the Settipudavu cave site. The Karapanasami Temple, which is at the base of this mountain, adds beauty to this mountain. In this rural deity's temple, there are 2 sculptures which was brought down from the top of the hill. Villagers around this mountain do not wear chappals while climbing up the mountain, and also they do not catch fish from the pond which is at the base of the mountain. They revered both the pond and mountain as God. The Banyan Tree in front of the Jain's hills is a very old tree that it is supported by its aerial roots. During the 2nd century BC, Adagarmalai was a residence for Jain sage and Jain school. The Jain's cave is at the top of the southernmost of the mountain. To reach this cave, we have to go down the hill in the middle of the mountain and again move towards south to climb up. On the peak of this hill, there is a natural cave and also there is a long tunnel. A rock sculpture carved by Achananti during the 10th century AD is also at the top of the mountain. Animalai Hills is on the northeast side to Madurai. Perimeter of this mountain is about 6 kilometers. It was called as Ivakundram. While climbing up on this mountain, from its southern direction, it appears like an elephant's face. Down the hill, there is a cave site, and here you can see stone beds of Jains belonging to the 1st century AD. There is also a cave hill slightly on the north side of this hill where there are the 9 figures of Jains. Structures of Goddess Eki Ambika in a sitting position and the Tirthangara's figures both are painted. A protrusion sculpture of Tirthangaras is on the north side of the cave on the top of the mountain. Narasimha Perumal Temple is situated on the west side and Rock-cut Cave Temple is situated on the east to the mountain which belongs to the 8th century AD. Kongar Puliyankulam was Jain school during 2nd century AD. At the top of the mountain towards east in the cave side, there is a Brahmi inscription. There are stone beds inside the cave. Outside the cave, towards west, there is a 10th century AD protrusion sculpture of Tirthangarar. Tamil Brahmi inscriptions and stone beds are found in the Jain's Hill, which is at Mangulam at Meenachipuram. Next to this is a wonderful valley. The Pinayan Malai, or the Altapati Jains Hill, was a residing place for the Jains before and after Sangam period. The main features of this mountain are the protrusion sculpture of Adinadar and inscriptions belonging to 10th century AD. When we get down the hill on the southern side, and again if we go the north side, we can see the beautiful rock-cut cave temple built by the Pandya kings during 8th century AD. The Lord Shiva temple and the Laguleshwara sculpture both are carved with a single rock. The appearance of this mountain in front of carved dome is charming. This is an ancient grinding stone. This is a traditional stone to check youngsters' strength and is called as Ilavatakal. The Jain school, which is at Kilabaravu, functioned from the 2nd century BC up to 12th century AD. The rocky sculptures of Tirthankaras belonging to 9th and 10th century AD still looks like a new sculpture. This mountain was an aboriginal place for Jains. Karadipatti Perumal Malai was an ancient town where early humans lived. Sculptures of two Tirthankaras, which is at the top of the hill, was developed during the 9th century AD. There are stone beds beside the cave and inside the cave site. Jain's Hill, which is at Vikramangalam, was influential till the 7th century AD. An ancient Marudappa Ishwara temple, which was built by Parakrama Pandyan, is situated at Kovilpatti, which is nearer to Vikramangalam. The inner walls of the temple is inscripted with old Tamil letters called Vatteluthu. The artful architectural work around the Karpagraham, the Sanctum Sanctorum, and the statue of God stands as a proof for the architectural skills of Pandya kings. The stone sculpture of Lord Vinayaka without proboscis is very rare that it cannot be seen anywhere. The circular sculpture of dancing girls on the pillars portrays the virtual ability. The sculpture of Pulikutti Veeran, the warrior who kills tiger, is also a very rare one. Jain's Mountain, which is at Thiruvadavur, functioned as Jain school till the 7th century AD. The stone beds of Jains and the cave is naturally located and inscriptions are found on the rocks. Saiva Saint Manikavasagar, who composed Thiruvasagam hymns, was born in Thiruvadavur. His residence was converted into a temple. On the north side of the town, in the premises of Tirumarainatha temple, there is a stone mandapam which is rich with architectural designs. Mani Mandapam, the building structure, was built by Serian Sendan. In this artistically rich Mani Mandapam, stone pillars are beautifully carved. 12th century AD carved inscriptions are also found here. Anantagiri and Ashtagiri mountains are at Kunathur village. During 750 AD, those mountains were changed to rock-cut caves.